I want to tell you the story of how I felt always like an alien to my own life, like nothing's real, like the whole world is fake. And I know deep inside, you know what I mean. Like this agreed reality is just real as long as you think it is. So, my story, hopefully, it inspires you to trust in your intuition and live a fuller life, a life that feels more real. My story starts when I was a child. And I continuously, as I was integrated in society, something was just feeling not right. And I didn't notice it as a child consciously, but I remember having nightmares where my parents would have red eyes and everybody around me felt like an alien, or some other times I was the alien. And that, of course, that was nightmarish, but I think it was an unconscious way of processing what I was living. But something saved me: music. When I was 9, a wave swept my body as I was listening randomly to a song on a Saturday morning, laying in bed, summer day. I remember the sun through the window, my skin, and kids playing in a pool outside my flat. And I remember listening to that song and something took over me, like a very strong energy took pull me into, I don't know how to describe it, probably some sort of trance, because it felt so extraordinary, so intense. But so music was my life, and that saved me in so many ways. When I was a teenager, following the thread, everything felt off, everyone felt off. Luckily, I was able to keep this sense of being grounded by music. Music taught me to meditate by listening to it, by playing it. I became a very skilled musician because I just spent so many hours. For the time I was in high school, I would just keep close to every day and I would just play music. There was a time where drugs seemed to help, but I don't recommend drugs, to be honest. It's just fake too. But still, it gets you in touch. It helps you break from the rest of the world. But music does it in a healthy and natural way. It just helps bring in you that sense that there's a home for you. You belong somewhere. You may still don't know what it is, where it is, but there is something that feels, yeah, that's home. And music was able to keep this flame alive through all my life. And as I became so in love with music that I became a professional musician. And like by the time I was in high school and college, I would just play for endless hours a day. I remember the last year was something around like 11 hours a day I was playing. I played more than basically every time I was awake. And that kept me real. I don't know how to describe it, but so this unusual amount of time translated into unusual experiences of concentration. And my mind will go still. And reality seemed different. And everything looked like a movie. And at the same time, I knew I was real. And I knew everything I was perceiving was just some way unreal. Which led me to go to psychology because I thought I got finally crazy. I didn't know how to talk to people, what to talk with. I mean, I could just small talk and I could socialize. I love people, but I wouldn't connect with them. And my mind was so still that between conversation and conversation, I would just go on for long stretches without really thinking about anything, just feeling alive. And over time, I found meditation. And that hit it like, okay, yeah, that's it. And for many years, probably like 10, 15 years, meditation was just something that was helping me to stay in the state, to be a better musician. But at some point, when you live in that bliss for so long, you can't stand normal life. So anything outside music felt just off. But I realized this pattern where I was hiding from the world in music. So I realized I had to do something better. And that's when I started taking seriously meditation. And I realized, okay, this is how you keep feeling the music all the time. Because the music is not really doing anything to you. The powerful thing about music is that you're listening to it. And that's calming your mind. That's calming deep conditioning in you. So I became more and more skilled. I did the same thing that I did with music, but with meditation. And I'm still up to date, professional musician, but I realized that you can keep that sense of belonging no matter what. And as much as it still feels sometimes that life pulls you into this weirdness of being normal and everything still feels fake, like it seems that, I don't know, things like people dying or horrible suffering, it is so off. It's like a red flag comes in, like, no way, that cannot be happening. I know some way, I know. And for me, then meditation became the extension of music. So I could live constantly in this state of awe and peace and beauty. And after a while, especially through Corona, I realized that all the people were having really trouble. So I realized that it wasn't only about me. And that's when I decided, okay, the same way that I've been teaching music all my life, I realized that I could teach meditation too. And that, as much as I try to help and I help, I think many musicians, I could help everyone with meditation. Meditation is universal. There's a meditation for every person. So I've been leaning hard on that for a while, and that's become the whole thing that is completely transforming every moment of my life. My life is not anymore about myself. It's about you. It's about everyone. It's about everything. It's about keep listening to the silence behind the music. Keep seeing through the space beyond perception. Keep feeling the stillness beyond movement. And it's not that this is a bit of a changing state, I would say. Sometimes I get pulled off into believing I'm human and suffering or fear of becomes more real. But luckily enough, I've been meditating for so long, for so intense that I just cannot buy it anymore. And as weird, as strange this may seem, you know this too. And I want to help you remember that you're safe, that you're home. And as much as things seem real, very real, there is a deeper reality where you are safe, where everything is fine. But the only way that you can sustain that state, you can find that state randomly. Hopefully you did already. You had glimpses of a freedom that is not from this world. Even then, it comes the problem of how you sustain that through interacting with other people, through having a normal life, a job, through illness, through the death of people close to you. How you sustain that beauty. Well, this is where I tell you through meditation. Luckily, people before us have been in the same place that you and I are, develop all these techniques. And it all comes down to be able to let go the activity in your mind, your conditioning, and be able to stay with that stillness. And I'm so fascinated with all these techniques. I love it so much. It's been so helpful. So I hope this video inspires you to take action some way. Take action in the same of claim back the glory you deserve to be living. Most importantly, to claim back the sense of what is real cannot die. There's nothing. Fear is just made up by your mind. If your mind stops, there is no fear. And you remember who you are. And you remember what is real. And this is always accessible. The only problem may be patterns, habits, mental habits. But this is what I'm telling you. This is the way you get out of it. This is a very simple test. Can you or even your mind remain still? If you do that long enough, you're there, always, all the time.